Hello, hello, this is Blaster Toad here, and welcome to another tutorial on ToadNet. Today we are going to be playing with gravity and physics. Well, kind of. We're not going to be playing with UE4's gravity, we're going to play with something that looks like gravity. And we're going to be making a few things. We're going to do a setup that is like an explosion that interacts with physics objects. We are also going to do a gravity gun like Half-Life, so you can grab something and then launch it. And then the last thing will be a black hole, something that pulls everything towards it. So let's get started. Starting up in my new template document, which I just need to make a quick edit here to remove some information that isn't actually in this template. There we go. And I'm going to go to content, make a new folder for blueprints. In blueprints, I want two new folders. I want props. And I want, let's call it weapon. Okay, so props, we are going to make something to interact with. I'm doing a right click here, do a new blueprint class. I'm going to do a actor, and I'm going to call this BP underscore is actor. Need something to interact with, so I'm going to add a component. Make that a cube. We're just going to put that right to the default, or to the scene root, sorry. And we could just simply simulate physics here. There you go. That there will make it always simulating physics though, and if you have a ton of these out in your world, it can be very inperformant, so it could start bogging things down a bit. So we're gonna change things up here. So we're gonna go over to our event graph. And in our event graph, I'm going to get rid of an overlap. I'm going to keep tick and begin play. I'm going to select my cube. And I'm going to scroll on down here on component hit. So when something hits our cube, I can get our cube and set simulate physics. True. Drag that over, select them all, hit Q, there we go. So when it gets hit, it starts simulating physics. Then we want, when it's not moving, to stop simulating. So on event tick, we are going to our cube, going to get velocity, get component velocity. Can we do that? Cool, yes, I can do that. And I'm going to do a then nearly 0. Vector is nearly 0. I don't need it to do 4 points of math. I only want to do 3 points of math. So I'm going to do 0.001 and then branch. So this is checking, is our cube currently moving? Does it have a velocity? So is it changing its location over time with a magnitude or force or speed applied? If that is true, we are going to do once, so we don't keep spamming this. So if it is nearly 0, we are going to do this here, Control C, Control V, post that over, and we're gonna stop simulating physics. False, we are going to reset our do. So this way, if we hit it, it'll start simulating physics. When it stops moving, it will stop simulating physics. So I'm going, and the last thing I want to do here is up in class defaults. Right at the very top, we got this tick interval. If it's at 0, it's going to tick every frame. If you got 60 frames per second, this is going to tick 60 times every second. We don't want that to happen. We want this to happen significantly less often because it doesn't need to be that accurate. What I'm going to do here is going to put this to 0.1. It'll only tick 10 times every second. And then off of both of these, I am going to do a print string. I'm going to get the cube, so Control-C, Control-V, or just drag it out from the side. And I'm going to check is simulating physics. Plug that in, we'll just get a true or false. Files, save, and I'm going to play game. I don't want to do that. I want to come here, go to advanced settings, and change that resolution to 1440. There we go. So now when I play, hey, look at that. This should work if I actually had one out in the world. Place it out there. We've got our hovering box, and when we run into it, it should fall. There it fell, and then we should be able to push it along the ground. Physics is true. You can see true being printed down the left side of the screen. Hide that menu, and when I stop, false, it's no longer simulating physics. It's just sitting there as a cube, not doing anything. So it's not constantly updating its physics and all that, and it should be a lot more performant if we had a lot of these around. Okay? The problem is, though, as you may have noticed when we start the game, it's in the air. And we don't want that to happen. Go back to our physics actor. Gonna get rid of our true false there. We don't need it. Go back to our class defaults, and we want to set tick enabled false. Or start with tick enabled false. So right now, as is, if we just started it up again, this would never happen as it is told not to tick. What I want to do is get our simulate physics here. We're going to Control-C, Control-V, copy that over. We're going to put that off in play. It's going to start simulating physics as soon as it begins playing. And then we're going to do a delay. Very short one. Then a set tick, set actor tick enabled. Boom, right there. File and save. And why we need this delay here and to turn tick on and off is velocity comes from the last frame. So when we set simulate physics here, it will start dropping. But when it ticks, it's going to say, hey, on the previous frame, it was not yet dropping. So it's going to set it to false, and it's going to stay in the air. This way, with a little delay there, it should fall down when we play, and our cube falls. We're going to make some more cubes here. So if I hit Alt and drag on the widget here, and set up a few more cubes, Alt, drag the widget, and then I want one that is going to tumble right off the top. Again, I'm going to Alt, drag, and tumbling off the side towards the player. Now if we play, we should get a bunch of tumbling blocks. And then they're no longer simulating physics, but if we walk into them, we can push them around. And because of the capsule component on our character, if we get close to two of them, we'll interact with two of them because they're both getting hit. Yeah. So there we've got blocks that will simulate physics if they are hit by something. Awesome. Okay. Now, let's get to our physics enforcers, I guess I'll call them. So on our weapons, we're going to do a new blueprint class. We're going to have an actor, BP underscore explosion, something that pushes them all away. We are going to do a new blueprint class, actor, BP underscore, what do I want to call this one? launcher. So this will be like our grav gun type thing. And then I want a blueprint actor BP underscore black hole. And let's start with our okay. So on our explosion, I am going to add a component, add a sphere, and I'm gonna make that the root. Okay. Our sphere should have a collision of actually, we don't need that. No, we want to not have a sphere. We want to have a collision. Sphere collision. Perfect. And its radius is going to be 50. So it is 1 meter wide or 100 Unreal units. So then as we scale it, we are going 1 to 1. Okay. Then on our event begin play, we're going a let's do a timeline. Timelines are fun. Add a timeline. This timeline will be called countdown. Just so we've got something to see when it's gonna happen. I'm going to play from start. Double click our timeline. Length of 2 seconds. And I want an event track. And I want to call this explode. And at the 2 seconds, I want to add a key at value 0 time. Okay, let's. Yep, trigger and explode. We could have just done that on finish, but I then want to hit countdown and get playback position. And then I want a no, I just want to do that. An update. I want to. So what this will do is it will start printing where the countdown is. It'll just go 0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, blah, 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 up to 2. So we can see when it's going to hit. And then I want a new custom event. Click custom event. And I'm going to call this event explode. And on our custom event, I want to get our sphere, get overlapping actors, class filter, I don't care. Actually, I do care. I want those to be BP physics actors. I want to then do a for each loop. Okay. Each loop, I then want to, for each of them, get root component, set simulating, because I'm actually getting this, they are... Oh, is it just giving me regular actors? Yeah. I want to get root, cast to primitive component. Once I've made sure it's a primitive component, I can then set simulate physics true. And then radial impulse, add radial impulse to component. So this is making a spherical or a domed explosion. Origin will be get actor location. It's gonna come from our location. Radius will be get actor scale. And just break off one of those times 100. Or no, sorry, times 50. That into radius. We're going to tell that to be a velocity change. Our strength, we're going to promote variable of strength. And that strength variable we are going to... Okay, so what this is doing is doing a countdown. Then, when our countdown is over and it's told to explode, we are going to explode. Trigger our new custom event. That custom event is going to get all of the overlapping physics actors within this sphere. Is it then going to, for each of them, get its root component, which is that cube, and tell it to start simulating physics. Then it is going to add a impulse, radial impulse, so a spherical explosion type force from the position of our explosion with a radius of our scale times 50, because our sphere radius is 50, so if we scale it up to 2, our radius will be 100, and so on and so forth. It just makes it nice and easy so that we can scale it however we want in the world, and we don't have to change any numbers here. And strength will be how hard our explosion is. So, we drag an explosion out here now, and scale it up. We should see it running up to 2, and then nothing happened because our force is 0 and I'm an idiot. So I want to find our explosion. And strength, let's try a strength of 1000. See what that... So it goes to 2 and boom! There is our explosion. See, nice little explosion. If we make that smaller, we could get some interesting things as everything collides into each other. To make that smaller, I want it to basically just get these two and be kind of at their front. Boom. Go. We've got explosions happening. Yay. So, very simple. We've got explosion. And then that you could put on, say, a grenade, you throw it, and when the time is up, hey, it explodes. let's do our black hole next. We're going to do a very similar setup. We're going to add a component. We're going to add a sphere collision. We're going to set that to 50. But this one here are going to new variable. I'm going to call this enabled. I'm going to set that on tick. Okay. And instead of doing an impulse, so an impulse is like an explosion. It is force in an instant. Okay, so it is like punching something. Whereas what we're going to do for our black hole, instead of doing an impulse, we're going to add force. And force is more like pushing something or having wheels propel a vehicle forward. It's a constant thing. And because it's constant, we have to have it off tick. Otherwise, it really does nothing. Okay. So we're going to do that. We are then going to on true. We are going to get our sphere, get overlapping actors. Actually, we don't even need actors. We can get overlapping components for each loop. Cast to primitive component. Is it just giving me primitive components? It is already giving me primitive components. Beautiful. I like that. Grab all those except for enabled. Hit Q to scroll up. Okay. Get all primitive components. We are then going to set enable or set simulate physics true. Here we're going to get is simulate. Get simulating. Oh, come on. Where is is it simulating? Oh, it's not get, is simulating physics. Is simulating physics right there. Then going to a branch, and if it is not currently simulating physics, you're going to make it simulate physics. They're then going to add force. Not adding force to our sphere. Adding force to this element. And that force is going to be get look at, is it not get, it's find look at rotation. Yes. And we are going to get world location from our thing, our component that we're hitting. Start and the end will be our black hole, so get actor location. So this is getting a direction to from the physics actor. Okay, so from BP phys actor to the black hole, so it knows which way to get sucked into. From that, we are going to get forward vector to multiply that by a float. And I'm going to try 500. Actually, we're going to promote to variable strength. And we're going to make strength visible. And that is what we're going to plug into our force. We're also going to do that after set simulating physics. And I'm going to set that to an accel change again. So what setting it to an acceleration change does is instead of adding the force to something, which it then has to work against the force it currently has, it just sets its direction, basically. Which means we get to work with more sane numbers. Basically what it's doing for us. So instead of, say, having like this here, our other one was what, 1000 we set for our explosion? Yeah, 1000. If we did not have that as an acceleration change, we might have to have that to like 100,000, not 1, or even 1,000,000. So that's why we're using the accel change. If you wanted to have to overcome something's current velocity, if you wanted to say, okay, you're shooting a bullet, and if somebody puts this up in time, a reverse black hole, or like the explosion type thing, and it pushes the bullet away, well, the bullet may still have enough force to penetrate, then you want that off. But if you want it to just hit it like a force field and bounce off, then you want this on. Hopefully that kind of okay. And then on event begin play, we are going to set set enabled to true. Want to bring out the black hole. I'm going to move our explosion aside because we don't need the explosion right now. Get our black hole. I'm going to scale that black hole. Maybe make it smaller. And then instead of hitting play, or instead of playing it like regular, I'm gonna hit simulate. And I'm gonna get our black hole. Oh, it's not gonna let me move the black hole around? Third. What I wanted to do is be able to move things around like that, right? So our black hole needs something I can interact with then. I'm going to add a sphere component to it. Right in that sphere, I want that to be like a 0.2 size. Just so we've got a visible handle in the... Okay. Oh. It's setting simulate physics on itself. Ah. Want to... Yeah, you know, let's get actors instead. So we want to get overlapping actors, then BP or phys actor. Plug that in instead. Break those links. And that means we have to do a get root cast to primitive component. Is it simulating physics? If not, yes. World location from it. Set simulating to true. And add. And let's try that now. So is our force just too small? Oh, we can see it's trying to do something to that box. But I think our force is too weak. Or let's put our strength up to 1000. try that again. Now we've got things wanting to come to our actor, but it's still a little bit too weak. So we want to set that now to 2000. Simulate again. Now we've got a black hole that sucks things up. And if we move it towards something else. See, the problem is here we've got the ball in the middle that's interacting with their physics, which we can. We're going to check that second sphere, set it to no collisions. I just put it as a handle. There we go. Go pick up the other cube. Come on. No? Oh, because I'm collecting the cube, not the... Come on. BP explosion. No, BP black hole. There. That's what I want. Suck these other ones up. And now we've got them all sucked towards this black hole. If I select this guy, can I possess? Yes, I can possess the player now. And I can walk into this mess of black hole stuff and be like, blah. Whoop, blah. Yay, we've got a black hole that sucks everything towards it. Now, you know what would be really fun is if we do a... so we duplicate our black hole. And we do black hole explosion. Okay. And on event begin play, we do a child actor. Add child actor component. Relative transform, do a make transform. Leave everything there so it's just attaches to the center. And then we want to set class, child actor class, to a BP explosion, to cast or get child actors for each loop. Cast to BP underscore explosion, not launcher. Cast BP explosion. Set strength. And we want it to be more powerful than our black hole. We're going to set that to like 2500. So now what we'll have a black hole that spawns an explosion in its center. We're going to get rid of our explosion we already have out there. Get rid of our black hole that's already out there. Bring out our black hole explosion. Make our black hole bigger. And what did we have it at? Like 1500? Yeah, everything's getting sucked into our black hole and then it gets exploded away. Let's do that again. So we want that higher. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And it gets exploded away. So everything gets sucked towards it and then exploded away. That's amusing. Okay. Okay, let's do a launcher. Okay. So this here, go away Google. So this here, we are going to do a couple things. We're going to be able to grab something, and then we're going to do apply force. So we are going to do some custom events. Add custom event. This is going fire primary. Custom event. Stop primary. Then a custom event. Fire secondary. Okay. So we then are going to need a couple variables. So we're going to do a variable for range. So how far away can we interact with something like this? And that is going to be a float. And then we are going to have a string. So on fire primary, we are going to line trace by channel. Are going. We're going to add a new component. Add a arrow. And I'm going to call that arrow emitter, just because I like to have it that way. So from our emitter, we are going to get world location. And the reason I do this instead of just getting the actor location is if this is going to be, say, a gravity gun, like in Half-Life. Okay? Then we want to be able to set what do we want to be able to set where the muzzle is, right? We don't want this happening from the middle of the gun. We want this happening from the tip of the gun or the barrel of the gun, right? So we're getting our world location from our emitter. We are also going to get forward vector. So which way is it pointing? Times our range. How far should it point in that direction? And we're going to add that to our world location to make it all relative to that location instead of happening from the middle of the world. And that will be our endpoint. Okay. Then on branch. And then we're going to break, hit results. So if we hit anything, we're going to get that actor. We are going to cast to BP underscore phys actor. Make sure we're hitting a physics actor. Okay. And if we've hit a physics actor, we are going to promote to variable target actor. I don't even want to make that a physics actor. I just want to make that actor. And the reason why I want my variable to just be an actor is because we're getting its root component and we're setting physics to it. So it doesn't matter if it's a physics actor or not. We're just setting physics to the root component of whatever actor we hit. So because of that, yes, we're doing a filter here, but If you wanted to get rid of this filter so it can just hit anything and apply physics to it, good. It would be very dangerous though, because if you say hit your floor and apply physics to your floor or your walls, really weird ass stuff could happen. So yeah. But if that is not a physics actor, or it is false, then we want to set that to nothing. Okay. And then when we stop firing, we also want to set target actor to nothing. Just like that. So there is our like pull the trigger, release the trigger type stuff. We're just getting an actor. From there, we would want to off this we want to get range. We want to do distance to is there a distance between actors? No. So I just want to get distance vector. Vector 1 will be get actor location. Just getting the location of our hit actor and the location of our gun actor. And we're going to promote that to target distance to R. The other thing we're going to want to do is get a relative thing from here. So we do. How do we want? Do we care? No, I don't care. I will have it go to these. That's something I'll let you figure out later, is if you want to like grab something by the corner and have it grabbed by the corner, you can deal with it. Yeah. Okay. Then, yeah, that sets the distance, blah, 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 and does all that stuff. Okay, then on tick. Event tick. We want to check if our target actor is valid. I want the other. There we go. Is our target actor. We are then going to, if it's valid, get forward vector of our emitter multiplied by our new distance, target distance, plus, what are we making this relative to? We're making this relative to our actor locations. Get actor location. Okay. And then we are going to get our target actor. Set location. Set actor location. This. Here. Okay. Now, when we fire secondary, to Get target actor. Add impulse. Or first we need to get root. Cast to primitive. Root, we're casting primitive. We are then going to set simulate physics. True. Add impulse. Our impulse will be our get actor, or get forward vector of our emitter, multiplied by our strength visible. Again, I want that velocity change. Strength, let's set that to something like 2500. Okay, so if we fire primary, we'll draw a line out into the world at a set range. If we hit anything, we're going to check if that's a physics actor. If yes, we're going to set that to our target. If we didn't hit anything, we're going to set our target full. If we did set something, we are going to get its distance away from the gun. We're then going to, every frame, set its position in the world to the distance away from the gun. We're then going to, if we fire our secondary mode, set its physics, add impulse to it. We also want to set target to nothing. We want to remove that target now because we don't want to be setting it. Okay, so now we just need to debug line there and add this to our player character. So in my demo content, my blueprint, my player, open up my player here, and I am going to set that weapon, so the launcher, right on his face. That in the camera. I want to set its position to nothing, and I want to move it slightly ahead so that it doesn't interact with itself. Cool. Then I need to do a left click, mouse left button, mouse right button, get our launcher, cast. No, it's not going to let me. Oh, it already knows it's a launcher type. That is nice. You used to have to cast to your child actor. That's quite nice now. So on left mouse button, I want to fire. No. Nope. Cast. No. Get. How does it want me to do this? Oh, get child actor, and then cast to be. Nope, they didn't change anything here. They left it exactly how it was. I was just forgetting one step. Okay, so we get our child actor, we cast to our child actor. I'm gonna need that a couple times. those all in. So when we click our left mouse button, we are going to fire primary. When we release it, we are going to stop primary. And plug all this in. When we do our right mouse button, we are going to fire secondary. Feels like there's something I'm missing on our launch. File and save and go back to our launcher. Fire secondary. We want an is valid from our target actor. So that if it isn't, it's not throwing us any errors. Also want to copy this simulating physics and put that on our stop primary before we set it to nothing. So that way, when we release something, it drops it. Cool. Range, we'll set to 4 meters, so 400. Strength, 2500. Looks good. Still have that explosion out in the world. Looks like I got rid of the explosion. Good, because I don't need that anymore. Oh, I don't want to just play. I now want to play new editor window. So if I grab something, I can grab it. And if I right click, I can launch it. Grab, launch. Grab, drop, grab, drop, grab. Ooh, it's spinny. Woo, launch. Launch. Goodbye, cubes. Grab. Oh, it doesn't want to interact with the floor. What happens if I just... Hey, I can fling it as well. Ooh. Goodbye. Target actor blueprint, something. Access none while trying to read target actor. VP launcher. Right here. We need to again do an is valid when releasing, just in case hit any. So is our actor valid? Blah blah. Okay. So we now have a flingy thing and shoot and launch. Boom. Oh. Why are you not interacting with each other? I don't know. Grab it in midair and bounce it off the wall. Straight up and boom. Haha. Can I grab it again? Grab it. No! It's gone. But yes, so there we go. We have a gravity gun. We have an explosion. Put our explosion back out in the world for a second. So the explosion did literally nothing because I have to set its strength. But we have an explosion. Ooh. We also have a black hole. So it sucks things towards itself. Which again, I think that needs a oh yeah, that one needs to be a greater force, right? So that needs to be like 1500. And then the black hole grabs stuff, pushes it towards its center. And we have the gravity gun, which I can then grab that, pull it away, and shoot into the black hole. Ooh. And we've got a bunch of actors that should be better performance than just simulating physics all the time. Whoa. Why did it just go crazy like that? That was interesting. Close enough. There we go. I don't know why our black hole's throwing things away like that if I place something in it. Weird. Oh, maybe because I'm putting it on this side and it's getting launched out at too much force, so the black hole may actually. But yeah, there you go. You've got a few different physics toys to play with there. I hope you've enjoyed. Again, anybody on Patreon, thank you so much for your support. As always, you got access to this a little bit early, and you get all the project files. Awesome. For any of you not on Patreon yet, thank you for supporting the channel with viewing. Please remember to like or subscribe. It helps out a lot. And if you do want access to the project files or early access to the videos, you can do so starting at just $1 a month on Patreon, and it really helps out. So thanks a ton, and we'll see y'all later. Bye for now.